Hey everyone, this is Adam with Jackson Egg Company. I hope that you're having a great day. And so this is the first video in my series about ventilation. And so the first one, of course, is obvious. What is ventilation and why do we use it in poultry production? So first off, what is ventilation? Ventilation is basically our system for delivering fresh air into the barns and then subsequently removing the old air, moisture, dust, anything like that, the harmful gases from that building. So it's just that system in which we do it. So there's multiple kinds of systems that'll be addressed in a future video. But ventilation is just how do we circulate that air, and what can we do to improve the health through getting good fresh air to the birds. Also involved in that, closely good to define now, is the climate, in which the climate, it would be just everything that's going on in that barn. So the temperature, the air velocity that's moving through the barn, the pressure, so your static pressure, that can affect them as well. What the air composition is, your gases, how much dust is in there, all those kinds of things. Equally important, though, is the microclimate within around the birds, really, because the overall climate of the barn might be I don't know, just 70 degrees. Maybe that's the overall temperature. Well, in that microclimate, you might have a spot where it's like really got a big draft going through it. And so that spot, it's like 70, 65 or something, or it's a different temperature, it's different wind speed, blah, blah, blah. There's a microclimate, and that can really impact the birds because they're experiencing a different environment than the whole rest of the barn. So why then do we ventilate our barns and have such complicated systems for ventilation? So the main thing, and this is, keep in mind this for like everything that we do pretty much, is it's all about reducing stress, including this ventilation, and like I said, just about everything that we do is, in a way, it comes back to reducing stress, because the less stress that animal has, the more perfect that its environment can be, then the better that it will perform, because it has less things holding it back. If it has the most perfect environment, then it will perform at its peak performance that it is genetically capable of doing. And so we want to max out that genetic capability. And so that's why we have ventilation, is because we are trying to make that perfect environment so that it can max out. Also, then, from an economic standpoint, which, trust me, that last one is the economic standpoint, because we want it to max performance. That's good economics. But the other kind of combination of reasons is that by improving our ventilation, instead of just having natural ventilation, and letting them run outside, that would be natural ventilation because we're counting on just the wind to be blowing. By bringing them inside, controlling that ventilation, we can have really high density and confinement then. And so by confining them, the really huge overall impact of that is that now we can produce poultry year round at like just as efficient of a manner as we could the ideal time of the year, because we can make that ideal environment all year round. So that really, really greatly reduces our both equipment cost and labor cost, because whether you are producing year round or half the year, you still have to pay for the same amount of equipment, or basically the same amount of equipment, and you're still gonna have to pay somebody to be there all the time throughout the whole year. So by using really great ventilation systems, then we get to max out 100% utilize everything that we have to buy, and thus greatly reducing production costs. And so that's really a big reason behind our ventilation, is that it allows for all that. So hope you learned something. Stick around because I've got a lot more to come from after that. Be sure to subscribe if you like it. Thank you.